Howdy, I'm Grandmaster Chuck. Welcome to Self-Defense Saturday. I'm okay. Alrighty, so today I wanted to hit this subject about blocking and what blocking can lead to. Because one, martial arts is the art of self-defense, meaning that we think about defending ourselves first before we thinking about going offensive. If you go offensive, it's usually so you can help someone else, and once again, under the self-defense guideline. Okay, so today we're gonna hit into the blocks. As you saw earlier, we were doing a thing where, okay, somebody's rushing at us with a two-hand push, pull, or grab, or a dual stimulus. Okay, so now what he's going to be doing is basically using the idea so you can see where this can go. So first, let's start off with the basic set of blocks to begin with before we go dual. Okay, now we had our standard outward block, meaning we wanted it to go to the outside of our body when we're doing it. So whether we did it here, okay, extended outward chop block. The idea of that has to do with how did the approach happen? If, let's say, for instance, he comes in and he's coming in straight, okay? When he's coming in straight, I can do a block like so, and we can be into here, okay? But if all of a sudden we're doing the same thing and I'm here, but at this time, at this particular time, he's approaching from here, doing the same move. Whenever he is, that's where I'm needing to move out to get a hold of it, because if I were to stay there with the same block I did a moment ago, I'm still going to get hit because it's at a different angle. So remember, blocking is relative to where the stimulus is coming. Okay, so now when you deal with your downward blocks, you got your three basic types of downward blocks. Whoa, get that away from me. Okay, then you got, whoa, I need to get back and out of the way as I'm doing it, and sometimes even here, oops, okay, so then you deal with your stimulus, okay, and the other one is, whoa, even a double whoa, okay, so this is where you deal with your downward blocks that allow for instinctual movement, okay. Now, so when we're dealing with the harder one, which is the dual or both are coming at you, to keep it less complicated, we're keeping them the same height. Okay, so we got three basic approaches first, meaning his arms are up, he's doing the approach. Okay, so when he's got his arms up, at this time, if my arms are down, I'm either going to be double out, double up, I'm going to have to do something of this nature, or else whatever I go to do, I'm going to get slammed. Now, let's say, for instance, same thing, he had his arms out, but I was scratching my head. Okay, and my other hand was down in my pocket. Okay, if all of a sudden here's the stimulus, I'm going to be doing a downward and an outward. Okay, so this is that idea. Now, if both my hands happen to be up because I'm talking to somebody and he comes in and does this thing, now I can move them on down to deal with him as well. So you've got different approaches. One, where are my hands relative to when the stimulus came at? Because then when you deal with singular attack, now you're dealing with the idea of which side am I going to be on, okay? Such as if he's stepping in right, throwing a right punch, just understand this is what it is. When an opponent steps in right, throws a right, he's facing to your right side. If an opponent is stepping in left, throwing a left, he's facing to your left side, meaning, okay, he's stepping in left, throwing a left, we'll say. Okay, here's his groin. Here's the base of his head. Here's the eye shot, throat shot. This is where you start to know where it's at. The liver's over here. You start to know where your opponent is. So if he is stepping in right, throwing a right punch, and at this time, I want to, let's say my weight is on my right foot. Well, when I'm doing the block as I'm here, it might behoove me to step and back and away, because I couldn't change the fact that if he's as big as I am or as powerful, he might be knocking me back. Because these things happen when you deal with big predators. Okay, so when you go to do a block or a parry, because see, I kept it to my right side and his right side. But if he stepped in left and did the same thing, and I go, whoa, I still got that hand to deal with now. Then if you run across somebody who's swinging a little bit more fluid, this is where sometimes we get into what we call a figure eight block, meaning a palm down in and out block. Okay, and it's sometimes swatting, depending on what you happen to see, because he's coming in with a left-right attack. So as he's coming in with a left-right attack, I'm going here, because I don't know if he's not coming in with another punch. So, because that's where then if he comes in with it, I may now have to come in with a different move, where I did a figure 8 outward extended chop block as I did something. So he got 3 free moves on me until I learned how to retaliate. Okay, because this is the art of self-defense. Okay, so if we can block and keep ourselves from being injured for a moment, they might sprain their ankle, step in a pothole, an opportunity a police officer might show. So if you're looking at, I'm in town, this situation is happening, how do I keep myself being covered? Now, the other one is that you have to deal with is collision. When you do a collision, you can't change the fact of size of mass, hardness, but you can start with the idea of, can I have a general defense? Now, let's say I did like the one that I did earlier when I did the down out, but let's say I'm scared. I'm really scared. Okay, then I want to cover up and I want to deal with that. Then let's learn how to do that in a more type of manner that you receive less damage. Okay, so the idea being that whenever he comes in, he pushes, and then we're now going to collide with one another. We don't want that, okay? So at this moment where he's now coming in, and I'm going here, and then I just come in with a move where I'm just simply moving and then doing like 2 elbows moving forward, that's going to stop your opponent. You could see how it hit his chest cavity, hits into the face, and it allows you to not even look what you're hitting at, because sometimes that's really scary. So remember, when you deal with the blocks, it's just a matter of when his hands are out, okay, am I dealing with slow-mo application, or am I dealing with something a little bit more, or a same type of idea, just a little bit more nicer guy? I do the same thing, and I do a double shove back, okay, because I just do the same thing back on him. Okay, saying back off, because maybe this is your cousin, you guys got hard feelings. It doesn't always have to go dramatic. Sometimes you can just let them know, hey, don't do that. So, just wanted to let you know some ideas about defense. You saw where when we're moving, we're doing stuff. Self-defense, it's one of those things that when you're doing it, a lot of times you're dealing with collision. Are they running into you? Are you able to actually pull them? Are you able to do something? So that's a lot what you're looking for in defense, and training yourself is sometimes using something that you can move around. So, all righty, well, that does it for Self-Defense Saturday. So, hope you have a good one.